Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the GUIDO, and we are back as we continue to have interviews with people inside of the Academy Roleplay server. This week, we had a really great interview with someone that a lot of people know as Mr.Tittles. A lot of people know him as Deputy Skittles. Either way, man, he's a super good dude, and we had a chance to sit down and talk with him. We had a really great conversation. We talked about his experience in TARP. We talked about his family, being a dad. We talked about his favorite cereals, and most importantly, probably more than anything, we finally decided who has the best dad jokes. I'm not going to give it away. You just have to check it out. Before you do that, though, man, if you're interested in GTA Roleplay, or maybe you're interested in the Academy, man, I want to invite you to come in, join us, hang out with us. We have an absolute blast. I promise you won't regret it. There's a link that just popped up right here. See it? This one right here. Click that link. Come over, check it out, and man, get involved with us. I know that you won't regret it. Absolutely. Also, while you're here and you're watching this video, will you hit the thumbs up button? Maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are about the interview. What are your favorite jokes that you heard in the dad joke off? I'd just love to hear from you. And if you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that too. All right. Hey, let's jump into the video with Mr. Tittles or Deputy Skittles. Let's get it. We'll start here. Man, again, thank you so much for jumping in. I'm excited about the conversation.
Hey, no problem, man.
All right. So we'll start. You just do this. Introduce yourself, man. Introduce us to you. We know the characters of Mr. Tittles, Deputy Skittles, and we want to talk about those guys in just a minute, but let's introduce you. Who are those characters? Who plays those characters? Take it away, man. Make it happen.
All right, man. The person that plays those characters is John Tittle. No, I'm just kidding. My name in real life is Jared Shannon.
Okay.
I'm from a small town in Michigan, right here. Go Blue, baby.
All right. All right.
I hate the color green. Sorry, guys, but I hate the color green. All I can think of is Michigan State, which I hate. That's why, unfortunately, I wear blue everywhere. But you know what? I still represent green in the city. That's all that matters. So.
There you go. And I told you, too. I said, I wore green to rep you. And you said, you came back, you said, I actually hate the color green.
Yeah, I do not own a green shirt in the entire house.
That's
and
funny.
St. Patty's Day, I get pinched constantly because you will not catch me wearing green in my house at all. If I wear green, my son's screaming at me going, Dad, state sucks. So that's all I hear. So, yeah, I do not wear green. Sorry, but like I said, the city is a whole new world, and you can be someone that if you want to be them or if you don't want to be them.
There you go. There you go. All right, I interrupt you.
Go ahead, but yeah, so I've been married for 16 years to my beautiful wife, Elizabeth. I have 2 kids. Lauren's going to be 11 this year. Colton turns 9 in a couple weeks. So funny thing about Colton is Ricky, my buddy, pal, first guy I met in the city. Never met him, and he yells out every time Ricky's on, hey, Uncle Ricky. So he never met him. It freaks Ricky out. He's like, oh, gosh, here we go. But it's pretty funny, though. Gotta love him and all that. I have a cat. So, and I work at Lowe's Home Improvement.
Okay.
In Jackson, which is we're let me do this. We're way down here. So everybody's like, where do you live at, Michigan? Oh, way down here. So I am a pro specialist for them. I deal with contractors all day, apartment complex managers, all that. So I don't have to deal with the retail customer, thank goodness. So sure. I've done that. I've been with them for over 16 years.
Awesome.
Yep, I used to be a plumber back in the day as well. So did that on the side. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much me. Just have fun. I love to hunt. It's one of my big passions. Awesome. When I first met my wife, I told her, I go, so if you want to date me, this is the thing. You will not see me in October. You won't see me in November. If that's an issue, you might want to leave now. And hey, she stuck with me, man. So we've been together for over 18 years. So
There you go. That's awesome. So, all right. So, when you told her that, was she like, now, is she like, yo, when's October coming, or is she sad when it comes?
a little bit of both. So she now I got my kids to take and everything, so it's good. It gives her
Good for you.
mommy time, So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
awesome. So
Very good.
yeah, man.
All right.
Well,
So,
then
working
I
at
love
Lowe's.
football. So
Oh, go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead. So, you're a big
oh,
football fan.
give it to me, man. Give it to me.
No, I
You
was
tell
just
me
gonna
Lowe's,
say.
man.
So, you work at Lowe's. Are you like a handy guy? Like, are you a fixer of things?
Yes, I have actually worked in every single department in that store except for electrical and flooring. So I can pretty much do everything hand-on type stuff. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
um, except for electrical, like customers will come in and be like, hey, do you know, like hook up my house? I'm like, do you like your house? They're like, yes. I go, then you don't want to ask me about electricity, man.
Yeah.
So,
So, all right. So, I'm gonna reveal something about myself here. I am not a I am not a handy guy. So, in the sense of like fixing stuff, and I think there are two requirements. There are two things that happen in my life that I think mark true manhood. Okay, the first one is this. All right. The first one is when you can go to like a home improvement store like Lowe's, Home Depot, and you just know where stuff is in those stores. You know what I mean? Like to me,
yeah,
that is the mark of a true man right there. I am not that guy. I am not that guy.
no,
The other one is that you have a grill and you grill stuff. I also am not that guy. I can grill, I
man,
just
I'm a
don't have
man of
one.
man then.
Yeah, no, no,
I'm
no.
a
To
man of many
me,
then, huh?
if you can do those things, you are the ultimate man, and you have all of my respect, and I bow to your manhood.
Well, that's another one of my passions is I love to grill and I love to smoke meat and stuff like that.
That's
So
awesome.
it's
So do
yeah,
you
I
have
love
like
to
the
do
big
that stuff,
smoker and
man.
all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, I didn't get this girlish figure from nothing, man. Saying I make a mean ribs,
Yeah.
tri-tip, pulled pork, man. Every time I post something, Ricky, man, he's just like, wait, thanks, man. No, I'm hungry, So
There you go.
Ricky. Ricky loves to eat, so.
There you go. That's awesome. Uh, Being a dad, man, how is that? How do you like being a dad?
Oh, I love it, man. Seeing my kids are active in sports. My daughter just started doing sports this year. She never was really into it and everything. She did piano lessons
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But like my son, he loves football. That kid lives and breathes football. He
Cool.
does wrestling. I coach youth wrestling.
Nice.
So that's a whole new world right there, brother. I
Yeah, yeah.
tell you, like the first year I ever did it 3 years ago. I walk into this gym. I'm new to like the Hanover Horton schools that's over here and everything. And I walk in, there's probably 15 kids. I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. It's 15 kids. Man, those kids is like herding cats, brother. Saying it's just they're everywhere. And then we had to take a year off for COVID. Well, my wife and I went down to Mexico with a bunch of our friends, and I ended up getting COVID
Oh
down
no,
there. Yeah, and I got stuck for 5 days.
man.
Then like everybody left. Everybody left. I told my wife, "You gotta get home to the kids. I'll be fine." I got stuck down there for 5 days. I come back, and I had to take the first week off of wrestling practice off because I had to do my quarantine.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
came back in that gym the first day. I walk in there. There's 45 kids signed up for wrestling.
Oh
I
wow.
was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, God, please help me with this. And like,
Yeah.
so I'm like looking at all the parents. I'm like, Dad number one, I need your help. Dad number two, I need your help. I'm just sitting there like, they're like, we don't know anything about wrestling. I go, I don't care. I just need a babysitter for right now. So yeah, so I coach youth wrestling. I help with baseball. My son does baseball. My son
Awesome.
loves basketball. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a dad's boy, So, my daughter just started doing softball this year. I talk about it to the guys and stuff. It's like I joined mentorship this last summer here at the beginning of the spring, and
Yeah.
I get a message. I'm like, "Hey, you haven't been very active." I'm like, "I'm so sorry, man. I got softball, baseball practice Monday. I got
Yeah.
softball Tuesday, baseball Wednesday, softball Thursday, baseball Saturday. I'm like, I'll tell you, after July 4th, you'll see me more active. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
but
a
yeah,
lot,
man,
and they
it's
keep you
great,
busy.
dude.
They keep you busy for sure, bro.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it keeps me young. That's for sure. I mean, I'm
Ah,
only 39. I mean, I look like I'm 50, but that's what happens when you start turning gray when you're 18 years old. So
hey,
that one
yo,
girl, man, she goes, "You got gray hair," and I pulled it out, and she goes, "Don't pull it out. 3 more will grow in its place." I'm like, I should have listened to her, huh? So,
yo, kids will do that for you, bro. They'll make your hair turn gray for sure, for sure.
hmm
All right, so you said that you are you love to grill, to cook, those kind of things. You love
yep.
sports, kids. What else, man? What kind of hobbies do you have? What kind of stuff do you like to get into?
Well, I'm a big hunter. Like I said, I hunt all the time. I like to shoot guns. I like to shoot old guns. I actually got like my dad's best friend. He owns this giant gun safe. I mean, he has a $1.3 million gun collection.
Oh wow,
And he calls my dad and I up. He goes, I want you to come over to the house. I want you to shoot something for me for the NRA. I'm like, okay, what is it? I got to shoot Theodore Roosevelt's Henry rifle.
wow.
We got to shoot it. We all got to shoot it 5 times. We shot them in the phone books. You pull the bullet out. You get the shell. You put it in a frame thing with the
Yeah,
with Theodore's picture, a little thing underneath it and stuff for the NRA to auction off
that's cool.
and everything. So just to shoot I mean Theodore Roosevelt's Henry rifle was amazing. So
Yeah, that sounds
I like to
dope.
shoot like older guns like that. Yep, I got to shoot a gun that Chris Kyle, the famous sniper.
Okay,
I got to shoot a rifle that his wife got to shoot one time. So
okay.
all that stuff. It's pretty neat. It's just cool.
Yeah,
So
that
I
is
like
very
to just
cool.
shoot guns and all that. Yeah. So that's about it. Just my kids, wife, and hunting and shooting and outdoors camping. We camp and stuff up here in
Okay,
Michigan. So
yeah. Now, I'm assuming you like snow. You live in Michigan. I'm assuming you like snow. Is that true or not true?
I like cold. I don't know
Okay.
why. I'd rather have it cold than hot. Like
No, I'm
everybody's
with you,
like,
bro.
"Do you fish?" Yeah, everybody like, "Do you fish since you hunt?" I'm like, I don't like fishing. You can't catch me on a boat when it's 90 degrees outside fishing, but you can catch me up in a tree stand when it's 30 degrees out
Yeah,
hunting for
yeah,
deer. So it's weird, but I prefer the cold. Snow once in a while.
yeah,
Shoveling, not good, not fun. It's
yeah. No
not fun
bueno.
when you gotta shovel it. So
Down in the South where we live, if they say it's going to be cold or there's a chance of snow, we shut schools down for like 2 weeks. Everybody buys everything in the store, and we have potential snow days. That's how we do in the South, bro.
oh yeah, here's a story for you. This is pretty funny. I was in South Carolina. South Carolina got an inch of snow.
Yeah,
Not even an inch.
yeah, yeah.
I'm driving on the interstate
Mm-hmm.
home from I went down there with some friends and stuff, and I'm driving home and I get pulled over. They're like, I'm like, what am I getting pulled over for? They're like, oh, there's a statewide emergency out. Why are you on the roads? I'm like, for what? Like, am I missing something? Like, there's snow all over. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, I'm from Michigan. I drive in 1 foot snow, man. This is like a half an inch. So it's pretty funny. And he goes, okay, carry on, but it's just like, I'm just like, statewide emergency but I realize they don't have plow trucks and
yeah,
salt trucks down
yeah.
there.
No, it's
So
it's a whole thing down here, bro. It's a whole thing.
yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
all right, so obviously we play GTA. We play in the academy together, and we'll talk about that more in just a minute. But are you a gamer? Like, are you a video game guy?
Yes, I was big time. I had an Xbox.
Okay.
As you see here, I had one. I was hoping for enough subscribes. You kick me a few $100 for a new one because the lightning hit the house and fried the old
Oh
one.
no!
So
Oh
now I
no!
gotta share the now I gotta share yeah, now I gotta share the computer with the 9-year-old boy that wants to play Roblox all the time. Dad, is it my turn? Dad, is it my turn? Hold on a second. I'm processing Coke. Dad, that's really bad. I'm like, I know, but it's just a game,
Yeah,
and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
but yeah, so Yeah, I used to play a lot of, dude. I was Call of Duty fanatic, dude. So yeah, I played a lot of COD,
Okay.
Fortnite back when it first started.
Yeah.
Um, Apex. I used to play a lot of Apex with my buddies and everything. And
Okay.
I mean, it's just you meet so many people doing it.
Yeah.
I played with one of my buddies, and he went to school with all these his frat buddies. Well, I played with these guys for like 9 years. And one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up to Grand Rapids, which is only 3 hours away. And one of the guys, we call him Squirrel, that's what he goes by. He showed up at the bar and we're like, oh, sweet. We got to meet each other for the first time. I mean, this kid, I grew up with my kids, you know. It's like I'll be playing and my kids be talking to him and all that stuff. And it's just like I finally get to meet this guy. So it's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
the connections you make in video games
It
and
is. It
all
is.
that. But
I
yeah,
was having a conversation with a guy the other day, and I was telling him about the fact that I stream and that kind of, and he was so blown away by the fact that he's like, people watch you play video games. He's an older
I
guy.
know it's great.
He said, people watch you play video games. I was like, yeah, bro. And he was so amazed by that. But when people aren't in that scene, they're like, how you can't really know people, but you really do. You make
Yeah,
genuine, true friends and connections through video
exactly.
games.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching. I mean, I'm 39 years old. I've been watching streamers forever. I
Yeah.
mean, heck, I watched Queen Eliminator. I watched Stone Mountain 64. I
Yeah.
watch like all those Spartacus and all that stuff. I mean, it's just you get okay. What am I doing today? It's just like watching TV, but in real life, it's just like a reality show almost, you know. So get some pointers from them and everything. And I mean, I'm
So
not as good as them, but
Red Wolf just said we need to start a GoFundMe so Skittles can process Coke on his own computer.
no, there you go. There you go.
There you
Thanks,
go. I
buddy. I
like
need
it. I
that.
like it. We can make that happen
Hey,
tonight.
Red Wolf, send some subscriptions. All right, man. We need this.
That's so funny. Uh, all right. So, all right. Speaking of things that you like. Speaking of things that you like. Um, we've been doing a top 10. And so you gave us a top 10 list, and you're going to reveal to us your top 10 favorite cereals. Top 10 favorite.
Serious, baby.
Now, are cereals just breakfast food? Are they anytime food?
They are breakfast food, midnight munchie food. I mean, I get home from work, I'm hungry food, you know. It's just like I'm literally 45 minutes from Battle Creek,
Okay.
Cereal City, man. So
All right.
So I got like the funny part is when we go through this list, I'll tell you some stories about the cereals and
And when
stuff.
you
So
sent me the list, you said, I'm excited because I'm passionate about cereal. And so like you got some real passion about this subject.
I, I do because I actually worked when I was a plumber. I worked for a union company out of Battle Creek, and I've been to Kellogg and Post cereal plants.
Okay. All right. All right.
So
So here we
when we
go.
go through some of the lists, I got a couple of them in here, but it's not like every single thing has a big story. We'll be here forever, but
All
all
right.
that stuff. But
All right. So we'll start with number 10. So these are your top 10 favorite cereals right here. All right. So starting with
all right,
number 10, Frosted Mini Wheats. Frosted Mini
Frosted Mini
Wheats.
Wheats. Gotta have your fiber. Gotta have your fiber, baby. Gotta keep regulated, you know?
I love this.
So,
I love this as an option. And to be honest, I'm just saying, it's your list. If I had a list, it would be higher on the list for me. I'm just saying, I love this as an option. This is definitely a top
yeah.
10.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have that fiber, baby.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So, a little sweet. Keeps you normal, you know? Like Cuffham's cat, you know? So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you hadn't watched Cuffham's interview, that joke's not going to make sense. But if you did, yeah, it'll totally make sense to you. Uh,
Exactly.
all right, so frosted mini wheats. I like. All right, when you eat them, do you like to eat them with the frosting down or up? What, or just are you just doing like a whole spoonful? What are you thinking?
See, this is the weird part. Like my wife, I make fun of her every time. When she eats chips, she looks at the chip. Then she puts the flavor side down towards her tongue.
Okay,
I always made fun of her. Then I started eating my frosted mini wheats. I'm like, oh my goodness, I do the same thing with the frosted mini wheats. You gotta put the sugar side down towards your
that's
tongue
right.
so you can
That's
taste
exactly
sweet.
right.
You know, it's just
You're right. If you're not eating frosted mini wheats that way, you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying right now.
yep,
All right. So here we go. So
exactly.
number 10,
All
great
right,
start, great start. Number nine, Lucky Charms. Lucky
let me
Charms.
tell you about Lucky Charms. Why is number 9?
Okay,
There's not
all
enough
right.
marshmallows. Not enough marshmallows, man. They need to put more marshmallows in the Lucky
I
Charms.
don't disagree. Don't they have like a marshmallow only? Isn't that a thing?
I think so, but that is not the same, man. You gotta have a little bit of, carbs and
Yeah,
all that stuff. You
yeah. So
can't
you
just go
need
straight marshmallows.
the cereal to go with the marshmallow. What's your favorite
Yeah.
marshmallow? Can you think of what your favorite one is?
Oh man, I had the red balloons,
Okay, I like that.
or the 4-leaf clover.
Okay,
So there's my green guys. There's my
there's
green,
your
the
green 4
4-leaf
leaf
clover.
clover.
So
Yeah, we'll go with that one. That keeps you in good standing with your crew.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they're already probably hating me now with all the blue on. So
All
yeah,
right.
you're welcome, B-Hawk. I saw you in there. So.
Yeah, B Hawk's like, oh yeah, he's gonna be sending you. He's gonna slip into your DMs.
Someone's coming to the dark side. Someone's coming to the dark side.
All right, here we go. Number eight. Uh, Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa
Cocoa
Pebbles, not
Pebbles.
Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs, no. Cocoa Pebbles or Cocoa Krispies. One of the two, they're all
Okay.
pretty good.
What is the difference between Pebbles and Puffs? I'm gonna be honest with you. I
Puffs,
don't know that I've
Puffs
ever
are
had
like,
this.
yeah, Puffs are like, oh, man. I think I meant to put Cocoa Krispies, but the Pebbles are more of a circular, and the Puffs are a little bit softer to
Okay.
eat.
All right.
So it's been a while since I had them, but I just remember them and
Okay.
stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I've never had these, but it kind of makes me want to. When I was punching this in, I was like, you know what? I kind of got to try this. I feel like now I'm obligated to go and try all of these cereals. And my
There you go, man.
apologies that I have not done
I
my
have a
due
collection.
diligence as a host that I've not done this yet. I should have done that. I'm gonna have to make note of
Hey,
that.
man, it's all good.
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Number seven.
everybody's gonna be sitting there going, "Man, I need to try this stuff out."
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're like, man, you should get all of these people should like sponsor you.
Exactly. There we
Give them
go.
free
Hey,
advertisement. All
Mr.
right,
Tittles,
number seven, Frosted Flakes. I
Frosted
like it.
Flakes, Tony the Tiger, baby.
I like it.
I love Tony the Tiger.
Can you
They're
do
just
a
number
Tony the
7.
Tiger?
There's just more of a. They're great. See, there we go, man.
Yeah,
See, I told you.
I love it. That was good. That was great. All right. So I like Frosted Flakes too. I tell you how I like Frosted Flakes. It's probably not the right way to eat them. I like to put a little, just a dab of sugar in the bowl with it, sprinkle just like very little, not a lot, and chop up some bananas.
I don't know about the bananas. I'm not a big fruit guy, my cereal guy, but
Okay.
there's only one thing that allows bananas, and it's Rice Krispies.
Okay.
So,
All right. I've
other
never
than
done
that,
that.
sugar I can see it make them a little bit more sweeter. So,
Okay. But I like Frosted Flakes. I like the path that we're on. All right, number 6. You ready?
yep.
Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks. Remember Honey Smacks back in the day?
I do remember Honey Smacks. I was a
Yep. They
I was
had
going.
it had.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say
Oh, I had the frog. Oh, see, now we're messing up each other. You go, buddy. You go,
Okay.
man. You
All
go.
right. I was gonna say that I had never tried these before, but I have. I have tried them. I just haven't eaten them a whole bunch.
Yep. Now that's the one with the frog on the
Yep.
box. There is Honey Crisp that has the bear on the box.
Okay.
Two different things.
All right.
But yeah. So I used to eat this as a kid, man. and I loved Honey Smacks back in the day. So,
When is the last time you had Honey Smacks?
dude, it's been a long time. Because like
Okay.
me, I'm old now. I gotta have my fiber. I gotta have my Raisin Bran, which I don't like
Yeah.
granola. So
I like Raisin Man. We've got some rage happening in the chat about Honey Smacks right now. I'm just saying I don't I'm not sure that some of them are liking this option, but you know what is your top 10. So Honey Smacks are where it's at.
yep, Honey Smacks.
All right, here we go. Number 5,
Number 5,
Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp. See, buddy, I know these, man. See, they need to hire me. Yeah, good old Cookie Crisps.
I
I
like
mean,
I,
like when I was a kid, dude. When I was a kid, it's like, yeah. I mean, cookies for breakfast. I thought I was king crap. So,
All right, real talk. Tell the truth. Have you ever made your own Cookie Crisp with like some like
what,
regular
Chips Ahoy
cookies?
cookies or
Yeah, just like a
something?
Chips Ahoy
Yeah,
cookie.
dude. Like my wife gets grossed out when I have chocolate chips or Oreos. I dump them in a glass. I'll fill that glass up with cookies, dump milk on there, and crush them up. It's the weirdest thing, but that's what I do.
I like it. I like it. All right, I like Cookie Crisp. That's a good one. That's a great option. All right, here we go. Number 4, Fruity Pebbles. Fruity
I got a
Pebbles.
story about Fruity Pebbles.
All right,
I
give it
got
to
a
me.
story about Fruity Pebbles. When I worked for that plumbing company, I went to Post Cereal. I'm sitting there working on, I mean, this place has all stainless steel piping because they're dealing with food and all that. And this guy comes up to me and goes, "You're new, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm new." He goes, "Come here." He reaches on the belt and grabs Fruity Pebbles. These things are not even colored yet. So they're all the same flavors, pretty much. It's all different flavors, and they just throw them in dyes after they're done. And he grabs it off the line. He goes, "Here you go. Here is some Fruity Pebbles right off the line. Greatest thing in the world. The only reason why they're number 4 is because when they come off the shelf, it's not the same thing as what I had inside the factory. I mean, those things were still warm, and I got to eat them right off the line,
That sounds
and it was the
nice.
greatest thing ever."
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. So,
So do you ever want to like
but
just
that
go
is,
back in and be like, "Yo, can I get some more of that cereal?"
I know. Though the thing is, like when you work there, you can actually buy it in the shop. And I mean, it's only like a day old. Once you get it in the store, it's at least a week to 2 weeks old before it gets to you.
Yeah.
So it's like you can go, like when we were working there at the plumbers and stuff, we used to just go in the store and you can buy it for dirt cheap. It's like brand fresh, new type cereal and all that. So it's pretty cool.
I like it. I love it. I love it. All right, here we go. Number 3, getting into your top 3. So all of these others have been good, but they pale in comparison to your top 3. Number
Yep.
3, Golden Grams.
I love Golden Grams, dude. I don't know why. It's just something about the taste of them. I love graham crackers.
Okay.
Like my snack, graham crackers and peanut butter sometimes and all that stuff, or s'mores in the summertime at a campfire. But I don't know what it is. I just love graham crackers, and Golden
Okay.
Grams is up there. So
All right. I
I
like
don't
it.
care what any of you guys say. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody you
No,
say.
it's your list, bro.
That's my number
No, we can't let them make us feel bad about your list, right? So
three.
Golden Grams are on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had Golden Grams, if I'm 100% honest.
What? Yeah, you need to try it.
Yeah, I don't.
You'll be a whole new man, I tell you.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right, number 2. Number 2. Here we go. Captain Crunch berries. Yes.
I think
Yes.
almost like any of the Captain Crunch
Yes.
would be up there. I
Yes.
mean, Captain Crunch peanut butter, Captain
Mm-hmm.
Crunch berries,
Yes.
Captain Crunch all berries. I mean, I should just put on there all Captain Crunch. But
I
yeah, I'm
agree.
a
Captain Crunch is a legend at cereal.
yes, yep. I mean, after a long night out with friends and you come home, Captain Crunch berries.
Yeah.
So that's
I
that's
like it.
up there.
Captain Crunch. All right. And I'll say this, I know what your number 1 is. I think you
It's everybody's number
chose
one.
I think you chose the perfect number 1. I think you did
All
really
right, let's
good.
see. Does everybody think? Let's see. The first person in the comments. Let's see if you know which one it is.
All right, hold on. Before we reveal it, do you have any Do you have any that you were like, before we reveal your number one, that you're like, you know what, I really like these. They're not in my top 10, but they're still really good. Is there any cereal like that?
Reese Puffs
Okay.
are up there.
All right.
Sorry there, David. It's not on my top 10.
All right.
Apple Jacks.
Okay. All right.
I was a little disappointed when Apple Jacks is not in there, but
A lot
it's
of people are
just
saying
I'm
Reese
not.
Puffs, Fruit Loops, um, Wheaties. So, all right. So
Yep. Tricks. I mean,
tricks
you
are
got
good.
the
I like it.
yep.
All
Not
right.
for rabbits, man, but
Not
it's
for
for
it.
us.
But none of those are in the top 10. And of the top 10, none of the top 10 are as great as this cereal. I 100% agree with you. It's not Raisin Bran, David. I do like
No,
Raisin Bran, though, but it's not that.
I do like it.
But
That's
here
like
it
number
is.
20 for me, but
It's number 20. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Number one, maybe the greatest cereal of all time, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Good job, Lauren.
I like
Lauren
it.
got it first.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that is the all-time early morning breakfast food for me.
No, I
That's not.
agree.
I don't really eat it too much at night, but in the morning, that's the go-to.
It is
So,
a delicious cereal. Uh, it is good every time you eat it.
yep.
It was a great number one. It would have been my number
Hey,
one.
you want to be jealous? You want to be jealous?
I do a little bit.
I I had it right off the line too. So.
Nice. Was it better? Like that much better?
Oh, I'm telling you, dude. This is I mean, dude, like Raisin Bran would probably be up in my top 10 if I had it right off the line. That's how good it is.
I
So,
love it. I
well,
love it, man. That's so good.
again, honeycombs would be up there, but I don't like honeycombs. So
Okay. All right. So this is your top 10 cereal. Well
that's my
done,
top
sir.
10.
Well done. Great job. Great
Yeah,
job.
thank you. Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem, man. I love
So let's get to this. And I think that this may be the most important thing that we do tonight. One of the things that you're known for, and one of the things that I love most about you, is every morning, just about, you go into general chat and you leave a joke for the day. And I
I
love
do.
your heart behind it, because you're like, I've heard you say, everybody's like got stuff that's going on. I just want to make someone smile for the day.
That's it, man. I love making people smile. When I first filled out my application, I want to make my guy into a comedian type of deal. John Dill was gonna be a comedian. I was gonna perform on stage, comedy, all that stuff. I love comedies.
Yeah.
I love comedians. And it's like, what can make someone's day than to start off with a smile? So that's
So
why I do it.
I love that. And I actually, and I've told you this, I have gone and searched out, like I have missed your joke, and I have gone and searched your name in Discord to find out what your joke was for the day. I tell your jokes back to other people as if they're my own. And
Hey,
uh,
that's fine. That's what they're for, man.
yeah, and so I absolutely love this. And so when we decided that you were going to come on, I said, I challenged you. I said, I want to challenge the joke master to a dad joke off.
Let's do this.
And
I'm
so
ready.
so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to determine right here right now who has the best dad jokes. And here's how we're going to determine it. Here's how we're going to do it. We're gonna each take turns telling a joke, okay? Straight faced.
Gotcha.
Straight faced as we can. If the other one laughs, or we make ourselves laugh at our own joke, the other person gets a point. All right. So
Gotcha.
if I laugh at your joke, you get a point. But if you also laugh at your joke, I get a point. Okay.
Sounds great. Sounds good. I'm ready, dude.
All right. So we're gonna. Most of the time I've seen this done, people are in the same room, and so we are going to. Red Wolf said Guido is a joke stealer. I'll own that. I'll take that. I am a joke
Hey,
stealer,
hey,
100%.
I don't care. Saying, where do you think I come up? I cannot come up with 365 jokes every day. So
No, it's great. All right, so we're gonna look at each other best we can. Like I'm gonna look at the best view I have of you is in my Discord. So I've got you. I'm looking at you right here, the best I can. I'm keeping my eyes on you, and I'll let you decide. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
dude, I want you to go first. I got to see what you got.
All right, here we go. I've been practicing. In all fairness, I
Guys,
100% practiced with people in my office today. I said, come sit down here and let me tell you these jokes. And they were like, what? It's like, yeah, sit down here and let me tell you these jokes. So I'm ready. I'm ready. All right,
I'm ready.
here
Let's
we
do
go.
this.
What do you call it when two chips fall in love?
What's that?
A relation dip.
Come on, man. Don't do it.
All right, I'm good. I'm good.
Why? All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't koala bears bears?
Why?
Because they don't meet the qualifications.
All right, that was a good one. Okay, here we go. Who who is the best kung fu vegetable?
Who?
Broccoli.
Okay, you got me on that one. You got me. You got me on that one. I
Okay.
like that.
All right.
Broccoli.
All
I
right.
got it.
I give you I'll laugh too. So you got a point. All right. So I got a point. You got a point. All right. Here we go. All right.
All right. What do you call a laughing motorcycle?
What?
A Yamaha.
All right. All right. All right. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Uh, do you know who Cardi B's healthier sister is?
I do not.
Cardio.
Close. Close.
Almost had you. Almost had you.
I keep asking people what IDK means. Every time I ask, they say, I don't know.
Okay. I like that one. I like that one. All right. Can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building?
No.
Of course he can. Buildings can't jump.
Almost, buddy. Almost.
That
You're
was a good
getting
one. You
there.
liked
You're
that one,
getting
didn't you?
there.
You liked that one, didn't you?
Oh, you'll love this one.
All right. I'm ready.
My wife wants to leave me because I'm balding. I don't care. It's her hair loss.
Why am I laughing at that? Why? Oh my gosh. All right.
I'm laughing because you're laughing.
This is an important question that I think we need to resolve. Do trees poop? Of course they do. How
No.
else would we get number two pencils?
Oh, you got me. That's a good one. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number two pencils. Number
Number two
two. Yeah,
pencils.
Cuffum. That one's for you, buddy. That one's for you, Cuffum.
Shoot! You can't say things like that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
All right. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I heard you work in a church. You know why they say amen instead of a women after songs?
Why?
Because they're hymns, not hers.
I like it. Yes. I like it. Okay. All right, here we go. What happened to the dog that swallowed the watch?
What?
He got ticks.
Nope.
That was a good one. You know you wanted to go for
That
that
was a
one,
good
right?
one. I like it. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Couple more here.
All right, let's see here. This is why my wife hates me. So my wife asked me last night, "Is it just me, or is the cat getting fat?" It's just you wasn't the right answer.
That's so terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's my last one.
Last one. I got tons of
I know you do. You're the master. You're Yoda, and I'm
them.
Jar Jar Binks. All right, here we
All
go.
right, give it to me.
What do you get when you take an angry sheep and mix it with a moody cow?
What?
An animal that's in a bad mood.
Oh gosh, I love animal ones, man. You got me. You got me on that one. What's the score?
According to them, they're saying it's 3-2. You're up. So maybe three
Well,
to
fun.
three.
All right, here we go. You ready for this?
All right, I'm ready.
Let's see here. I got bust out. I got bust out the big guns. Let's see
Okay,
here.
okay.
Oh man, let's do. Oh, since you want to say Jaja and Binks here and all that stuff. What's Yoda's last name?
I don't know.
Leahy who? Yoda Leahy.
Oh, I give. I surrender. You are the joke master. Oh man, that was hilarious. That was good. All right, well, give me one more.
I got
Give
end
me
off.
one.
I
I
got.
know you
I
got
got.
like
You
30.
want one more?
All right, give me one more.
This is my all-time favorite.
Okay.
I've said it in a lot of streams. What do you call two guys hanging from a window?
I don't know. What is it?
Kurt and Rod. Kurt and Rod.
I like that one.
That's
I like the
that's one of my
psychiatrist
all-time
one.
favorites.
I like the psychiatrist one too. I think it's
Oh, the
my favorite.
psychiatrist one. If anybody hasn't heard it, guy walks into the psychiatrist office, so all in shrink wrap. Psychiatrist looks at the guy and says, "I can clearly see your nuts."
That's my favorite. That's the one that I
That's
tell.
that's one of my favorite ones.
That's the one that I tell and I pretend like it's my own.
Yep.
I love
So
it. All right.
after my wife though, she wanted some peace and quiet tonight when she made dinner.
Yeah.
So I took the batteries out of the smoke detector.
I love it.
Yeah, she loves me. I'm telling you, my wife loves me. After 16 years of marriage, though, she still thinks I'm sexy.
Yo, if
Every
anybody
time she
is,
walks, every time she walks past me, she goes, "What a A." So,
I love it. Hey, listen, if anybody's still watching, thank you. Thank you for enduring that with us.
I don't think we lost one person
Hey, you
during
know
that.
what I heard? I heard that Denny loves dad jokes, and he.
Yeah, Denny loves them.
That's what I
That's
heard.
what I heard. That's what Lydia Salt told me.
I did hear that through the
So,
grapevine that he loves them. So I was excited about that. I was looking forward to it. All right. Let's get ready to let's transition. Let's transition a little bit and let's start talking about TARP. So let's talk about the Academy a little bit.
well, you're talking about that addicting thing that we play. That my wife is like, "Are you gonna come to bed anytime soon?" Nah, maybe later.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of doing stuff.
yeah.
So.
No, I'm making crack right now. I can't come to bed.
Exactly. I'm making
You
that
know what
crap
I
right
love
now. I
about
gotta
the you know what
say
I love about the Academy. So my buddy Dilly plays with me, but he also goes to church with me. And so we'll be talking about making crack and selling it at the church, and then we'll stop and look
oh
around and be
gosh,
like,
I do.
hold on. In the video game we play, just for clarity.
Yeah, it's not here in the church. Don't worry.
And
That's
you
not
got
where your money's going to an offering. Trust me.
and you got to be careful like what you're texting because I'm always afraid like somebody's gonna confiscate my phone and be like, "Yo, what are you texting about?" the
Yeah.
location
What's
of the
this about you making
drugs.
4,000 grams of crack?
Yeah. So
Man,
you
what's the street value on that right now?
so you're
Oh man, I bet you we can get at least 140 out of it.
so you've been down at the docks recently selling crack.
Yeah,
That's that's where you're meeting folks at now.
exactly. Yeah, I went on vacation, came back with 220 coke leaves. It was great.
Yeah, it's great. All right, man. So tell me this. Let's start at the beginning. How'd you get into it, man? How did you find out about the community? What got you started?
Well, it all started when I went to Mexico and got COVID, like I said, and I come home and I can't do nothing, man, for like 2 weeks. Work is like, no work. You're
Yeah,
staying home. I'm like, okay. And I'm in on the toilet and watching TikToks like every dad does.
yeah,
I don't care what you say. TikTok is the on the toilet thing to do.
yes,
And I seen this guy named Officer Messer, just like everybody else, you know. So, and I'm like, huh, what's this? I mean, I've seen like RP, but I never knew what RP was.
yeah,
I like, I'm telling you the truth. RP, I have no idea. And I'm like sitting there going, oh, this guy's a cop and he's a real cop, you know? And I start watching him. My wife's yelling, will you please get off the pot? The kid's got to go, you know, and all that stuff. So I'm like, well, hold on a second. I'm watching this guy. And she's like, you've been on the toilet for like 30 minutes. Can you please get off and you can go and watch us somewhere else? I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there watching him. I'm watching this guy pull people over, interacting with people. I'm like, this is cool. I'm like, never done this before. And so I start messaging him. I subscribe to his channel and start messaging. And it was like, hey, how do you do this? Well, you need a computer. I'm like, oh, sweet. I got a computer. It's dusty. I haven't used it. The only person that plays it is my kid and
yeah,
all that stuff. I go, I never really had a reason to play it. I played on my Xbox all the time and all that.
yeah,
So they're like, okay, this is what you need. So I downloaded FiveM. I'm like, okay, I do not know anything about computers.
yeah,
I'm saying that's not my thing. And you got to download Discord. And I had no idea what Discord was. So my 8-year-old son comes over and shows me how to turn on, like how to download Discord and stuff. Yes, my 8-year-old son showed me how to download Discord and access the channels and stuff. And I go, okay. So I put in my application. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about RP. So I'm going to wing this thing. I'm going to see what I can do here, create a story. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be this guy, man, John Tittles. And I'm like, I have no idea how I came up with the name Tittles. I have no idea. I was just like, that sounds like a pretty funny name and everything. And
yeah,
I sit there and create a story. Then all of a sudden I get a thing saying, hey, welcome to TARP. I'm like, ah, cool. You
yeah,
know, it's just like, yeah. So I go through the mentor process. Jared G, my mentor that time. I mean, they gave us each a mentor,
yeah,
and he showed me around the city. And I missed the in tour thing. I had something going on, so the next day I come in and he picks me up in a cop car and drives me around. I'm like, oh, cool. How do you become a cop? Well, you gotta go through all the application stuff. I'm like, all right. So I created John Tittles, and I'm like, I'm gonna be this good guy. So
yeah,
I want to be a cop, no felonies, nothing. That lasted about 24 hours. And next thing you know, I already had my first felony from running from a cop. And I'm telling you what, right now, I don't care what anybody says. When you get pulled over for the first time in this server, it's like getting pulled over in real
no,
life.
I agree.
I got pulled over. I'm just like, oh my goodness, am I don't get kicked out of here? Like, what's going on? They're like, excuse me, sir, what's your name? I'm like, John Tittles. They're like, I pulled you over for going 92 and a 65. I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm new. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm new. I'm sorry. They're like, all right, slow it down for me. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. I'm like, oh my God, this is like real life. This is awesome, you know?
uh,
And, and then I started just like cruising around. I go down to the second day in, I go down to Sandy. I run into this guy named Junior that used to be in the server. And hey, you want to buy some guns? I'm like, dude, I got like $10,000 on me. I don't have nothing for guns. He goes, okay. Then I drive and I run into this one guy. I forgot who it was. And he goes, you want to buy some Coke? I'm like, sure, well, how much is it? And they're like, he told me, he's like, how much you got? I go, I got like $3,000 on me. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him how much I really have, And
Yeah.
he goes, all right, $2,000, I'll give you this much. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. And I sit there and I drive away. I pull in the yellow jack, and there's this guy with a mullet. Yeah, you know who you are, Cuffle. Big Mike. Mullet, goggles, and bicycle shorts. I'm just like, who is this guy? Like, I mean, you gotta know. I never done RP. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is hilarious. And he pulls out of his back pocket a freaking musket. And he points it at me and says, put your hands up. I'm robbing you. I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta follow rules. I put my hands up and I look at him and go, are you robbing me or are you like robbing General Lee, man? Say, I just want to know. You got the musket out. I'm like, you got one shot. If you don't put me down, I'm punching you to death. And he's like, give me what you got. And he takes all my coke. And he goes, you don't got much money, do you? I go, no, I'm pretty new. I just moved here. And he's like, okay, I'll let you keep your money. And then I drive away, and he drives away, and I come back like a couple hours later, and he drives in again. I'm like, hey, he's gonna rob me again. He goes, hey, you want to buy some coke? I'm like, wait, tell me the same coke that you just stole from me? I'm like, come on. I'm like, I'm done.
It's
So
funny.
that's how my first couple of days went, man. And then I met Ricky. Ricky was one of the first guys I ever met that talked to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ricky and I are bros. Then I met Kenny. I met Jade, Colt, Green Gang. And I remember this one time, I'm in Legion parking lot, me and Kenny. And this guy comes up to me in overalls.
Yeah.
He goes, hi, my name's Guy. And I'm like, hey, Guy. And we're sitting there talking. And you went to go do something. And I went up to the side. I look at Kenny. I go, I think that's Blitz. Yes. I thought you were Blitz, dude.
Nice.
I'm like, that's Blitz right there. He goes, you think? I go, dude, it sounds like freaking Blitz. But he's just disguising his voice a little bit. I go, we got to RP it up. I go, he's gonna be sitting there watching us. He's one of those mentors and stuff. This is Blitz. And we thought you were Blitz, dude,
That's
for the
funny.
longest time. Then one day you flew in, we're talking to you, and Blitz was on his live PD. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I look like the biggest DA ever, man, saying this isn't Blitz. That's the story, brother. And I thought you were Blitz for the longest time.
That's
So
funny. That's
yeah,
hilarious. I
I
love
was
that.
like, man, he's one of the head guys. I got to get my RP up and make sure I do good and
Yeah,
all
see,
this stuff.
I was
So
trying to test you guys, make sure y'all were on your level.
yep.
No, what was funny
Then I
about
just
that
sat
is
there.
I was you in the beginning because I was like, I have no idea what I'm even doing here. I'm literally just trying to make something happen.
Yep.
And I think that's where a lot of
So
people
yep.
start.
So yeah, I mean that's it, man. It's just interacting with people. That's just you just gotta walk up and like, hey. And as me, dude, I'm telling you right now, it is so hard for me to be mean in that server.
Yeah,
I hate robbing people, but I like it at the same time.
sure.
It's just that rush. But it's like I hate being mean. And like I got mixed up with Ricky, Colt, Jade, everybody, and they're like, let's go do shootouts, and it's like, okay, let's do this, and I'm just sitting there like, I'm like shaking, dude. It's crazy. I'm just shaking. It's like, oh God, we're not gonna start shooting cops. I'm going away for like 60 months. I'm like, it's only an hour, it's only an hour, but it's just like, man, like, what am I gonna do? I've never been to jail and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
So you bring
we'll,
Mr.
we'll get to the
Tittles
fun.
in.
We'll get to the funny stories when
You get to
I
you
brought
bring
Mr.
Mr.
Tittles in,
Yeah,
first character.
you bring him in, and your idea for him is like, I'm going to be a good guy, and then all of a sudden he's not that, right? And so
No, he's felling me left and right after that. I
yeah,
got how they say, you surround yourself with good people, you come out with good results. Well, I surround myself with bad guys, and look what happened.
so you wouldn't be talking about Ricky, would you? Just asking the question, not
A little bit. I mean, Ricky was the instigator of a lot of it,
yeah,
so
good old Uncle Rick. Uncle Rick.
Good old Uncle Ricky. Uncle Ricky.
All right. So how did Deputy Skittles come along? So Mr. Tittles, he takes on a life of crime. How did the idea of Deputy Skittles? Because I would say I would say that people know you as both of those, and you even said
Yes.
that they mix you up.
Yes, it makes me up all the time. I'll be in my cop and they'll be like, hey, it's Deputy Tittles. I'm like, no, how about Skittles? And I'm like, I don't know that Tittles guy, you know. I heard he's good looking, but not as good looking as me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Skittles came about just I wanted to be a Leo. And unfortunately Tittles can't be a Leo because I only had to get about 5 or 6 felonies on him, you
Yeah.
know, and so I decided to go with Skittles. We're
Okay.
sitting there thinking of different things, man. It's just like I just want to confuse people. So we had Tittles, Skittles, and I actually created a guy named Matt Biddles
Okay.
and everything. Matt Biddles is no more. I haven't brought him in and stuff, but Skittles just I just wanted to be a Leo. And I got along with Willard a lot as Tittles and a lot of the other BCSO guys. And I'm like, I'm gonna be a BCSO. And I'm like, the good thing is I don't have to go through the correction thing because that didn't come up yet. So
Right.
I want to be BCSO. Ricky was in BCSO. Kenny was in BCSO.
Yep.
It's like all my buddies are in there. I'm gonna be BCSO.
Sure.
I want to roll around the county. I don't want to get stuck and all that stuff. So I like that. I liked Willard. Willard and I got along real well. So
Cool.
as Tittles and everything. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be BCSO. And I applied for it and got it.
Okay.
And now it's Sergeant Skittles. So
I like it. Well, congratulations.
yep. So
So
yeah.
when we interviewed Cuffham the other day, a couple days ago, he actually mentioned a character that you have that he is most terrified of. Um, is that the Biddles? Is that Matt Biddles? Is that or is there another character?
Well, in the old city, I had Matt Biddles. Matt Biddles was the guy that walked around in he rode a bike
Okay.
or walked around in a green rain jacket.
Okay.
And this white mask with blood on it and a machete.
Okay.
And he just sat there in bushes and stared at people. I mean, I just scared the living crap out of people. Everybody's like, you are the freakiest guy in the world.
Okay.
And for some reason, when the new city came along, I only had Tittles, Skittles, and another character that we'll talk about here in a little bit. And I was like, man, I miss the Biddles thing, but I want to move. I want to change a little bit because everybody knows who Matt Biddles was. So I created a psychopath named John Hacker. John Hacker wears a raincoat, gray one. They don't have the original raincoat that he used to wear, and wears this Joker type mask that has a smile that has threads through it, red. Eyes are blackened. I mean, it's pretty freaky. I mean, it's my kid sat there and looked at it and goes, Dad, that's scary. Like that's what I want. Yeah, the boogeyman's don't get you, you
Yes.
know, and all that stuff. And I brought him in, and he the very first thing I do is I rob a store. And unfortunately, the store that I rob was in line of this other guy stealing robbing stores.
Okay.
So Cuffham was right around the corner. He's right around the corner. He told me afterwards, he goes, yeah, this guy was hitting all the banks. I thought it was you, all these stores. And I was like, I'm going to go to Great Ocean Highway. And I'm going to catch this guy. And unfortunately, I was not the guy that was robbing the stores, but I was the guy that was robbing that one.
Yeah.
He chased me. Yeah. He chased me down. I wrecked out. I get out with my knife and I stab him. And then he shoots me. And then I'm sitting there going, hey there, Mr. Cuffham. We're best friends. We're blood brothers now. And all this stuff. And it freaks the living crap out of Cuffham. Just that voice. And the funniest moment was that time that what he said in the interview was, I'm going like 102 down the highway.
Yeah.
And I pass the Challenger. He pulls me over. He walks up to my window. I'm like, well, hey there, blood brother. And he goes, oh, my radar's broken. Have a good day. And he gets in his car and drives away. But later on that day, though, I see 3 guys trying to kidnap Cuffham. Believe it or not. I mean, who
Shocker.
kidnaps Cuffham, you
Yeah,
know?
shocker.
I know, it's just like, it's crazy. I mean, he's like the hardest person to ever kidnap. And I pull up, I'm like, no one's gonna take my brother. And I start shooting. I down 2 of them. The other one takes off and everything. So yeah, it's pretty funny. He's
That's
like,
funny.
you saved my life. I go, that's right, my friend. And all this stuff. And it's just like, it just freaks him out. It's great. It's great. I have a lot of fun doing it.
That's good. What do
So
you think?
then
So when you're coming up with those characters, like, are you thinking about what they're going to be, or are you just kind of going with it? Like, are you just making a guy
I
and going
just
with it?
I go with it a
Yeah.
little bit just to see. I like doing it. I have another guy. You will see him soon, probably again. But if you checked out Wigham's stream a while back, there's a guy named Nick Raleigh.
Okay.
Do you know who Nick Raleigh
I
is?
don't. I don't.
Nick Raleigh is this nerdy news guy.
Okay. All
He
right.
lives in the van down by the river.
I like it. Okay.
First day that I had him out, I get pulled over by Messer. And I'm like, what? Messer, help me. Thanks, sir, and all this stuff. And he's just like, okay, who's this guy? And I'm just sitting there talking to him. And then the only reason why I created Nick Raleigh like that is because I had COVID and I was losing my voice. So I had this weird voice, you know, and I'm just like, oh, there. And I pull into Yellow Jack and Ricky's there. I'm like, hey there, big guy. How are you doing today? And he's like, I'm doing good. I'm like, what's your name? He goes, Frank. I'm like, oh, Frank, that's a great name and all this stuff. And it's Leroy, you know, and all that stuff. And he had no idea it was me.
He didn't know.
No idea.
He didn't. Oh, that's funny.
No idea. Nobody knew who it was me. And I made the biggest mistake ever. I tried keeping it where no one knew it was me. I fly in as Tittles. And I walk up to him and I go, what's up, Frank? And I'm like, oh, shoot. He goes, that's you. I'm like, me. He goes, there's this weird news guy named Nick Raleigh. That's you, isn't it? That's your cousin. I'm like, God dang it. I'm like, oh my goodness, he got me and stuff. So I created Nick Raleigh, and then Kenny comes in, and Kenny goes, I want to be a news crew. I go, all right, create a guy. So he created Rusty Shackelford. And Rusty Shackelford was my cameraman.
Okay.
So we just drove around and we followed sirens. And we sit there and interview people as Nick Raleigh, hey, man, what happened here today, you know? And we'd sit there and just follow them and interview people. And a lot of times we ran into Messer, and Messer tagged along and did his interview and stuff, like, what happened here? And all this stuff. And then one day Blitz gets on and goes, you want to do a ride along? I'm like, no way, this is gonna be great. So it's me and Kenny, and I forgot the other guy's name. He was our just a sound guy, and we were riding around doing live PD with Blitz. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is a good idea and
Yeah.
stuff. And then the new city kicked in, and I created Nick Raleigh again, and I just did one little thing with them, and I just got so busy with Tittles because some of the people, Colt passed away, and Jade left the city, and
Yeah.
Kenny became president. I became vice president as Tittles, and I just was so busy with that and my Leo that I didn't bring out Nick Raleigh.
Sure.
And then one day I'm like, I was cheating a little bit, don't bust me on it, but I was watching Wiggum stream,
Uh-huh.
and he had with Jonathan, this guy pulled over, and I was flying in. I'm like, all right, I'll turn this off. I'll go in as Skittles or Tittles, and I'm like, you know what? And I saw Nick Raleigh on my screen. I'm like, I'm flying as Nick Raleigh. I'm gonna surprise Jonathan. Jonathan loves Nick Raleigh.
Yeah.
And I fly in as Jonathan, and I'm walking down the road, and I'm waving at Jonathan. And he pulls up, I'm like, "Oh, hey there, big guy!" And he goes, "Nick Raleigh, where have you been?" He jumps out, man, gives me a big old hug and stuff. He's like, "Where you been?" He hops on the phone. Ricky, get down here. I need you. And Ricky's like, "Oh, I don't like." Jonathan never calls me.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me I was in the city, and he goes, he never called me. So I rush down there and I jump out like, Ricky. hey, how you doing, buddy? And he's like, oh my gosh, Nick Raleigh. And then Wiggum shows up. He goes, you want to do a bait car? I'm like, yeah, let's do a bait car, man. And all this stuff. And we had a blast that night, dude.
That's
We did a
funny.
bait car, and I got to drive the Raptor, which I was like, yes, this is awesome, man. And at the end, I'm like hauling butt down there, and everybody's yelling at me, keep it under 100. It's like, I can't. This is a freaking Ford Raptor. This is awesome and everything. And it was a hoot. So everybody tells me I got to bring Nick Raleigh out. But the worst part is my wife absolutely hates Nick Raleigh. It's the voice. It drives her freaking nuts. After that night, she walked into the living room and she looked at me with these piercing eyes. She goes, never again. I go, never again what? She goes, Nick Raleigh needs to die. You need a permadeath. I'm like, permadeath on Nick Raleigh. She goes, then you're not going to be him until I am done. I'm out of the house. I'm like, okay, well, my wife's going away soon. And she's like, I'm like, yes. So I call Ricky. I'm like, Nick Raleigh's coming in soon. He goes, oh, I go, the wife is leaving the house. So yeah, she absolutely hates Nick Raleigh. So it's funny. He's just that nerdy, annoying dude. So,
That's funny.
but yep. So those are my main characters. I've
Awesome.
had a guy named Zanzibar. I had a guy named Zanzibar Clayton. That's how Mother Fluffer got his deputy. It wasn't Deputy Mason. It was Deputy Raisin because I was drunk and he pulled me over and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to my store and all this. Trying to get to the store to buy diapers for my sister. She's pregnant. I can't wait. I'm going to be a dad, and all that stuff. So. But
I
yeah,
love
and
it.
I ended up permadeathing him, and it was pretty sad. He goes, "I was pretty sad when you permadeath Zanzibar." So
That's great. Um, what is it? All right. So let me ask you this. What do you think? Because you've been a part of the community for a while. You were a part of what I think I think people refer to it as the old city, the new city. It just means there was a there was a, what do they call it, 2.0, and now we're in a 3.0, 4.0, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
And so
New city, old city.
but you've been around, kind of, um, you've seen both sides of that. You've seen people come in, you've seen people go. You've seen things that you say, hey, these are really great things. You've seen things that you're like, well, I don't know if I love that or whatever it is. What is it
Mhm.
about this community that keeps you here? Like, what is it that draws you in? What is the for you specifically? What is it that just kind of keeps you coming back, keeps you flying back in?
It's like this sign that you pull into Hillsdale, where I'm from. It says, "It's the people." Hillsdale County, it's the people.
Yeah,
TARP, it's the people.
yeah,
It's just everybody, man. I I love it. It's I tell people when they're first new to this thing, I go, it we always talk about crack on here now. It's just I go, this server is like crack, dude. It's just you cannot stop playing.
yeah.
I mean, I can log on. The wife would be gone. Kids are gone for the night. I'll log on at like 3 o'clock when I get home, and next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're not tired. You're
Yeah,
having a blast.
yeah,
If you're not in the server, you're on someone else's Discord, talking in VC,
yeah,
playing other games with them. I mean, it's the people.
yeah.
You meet so many different people, and the cool thing is, I love what you do. People get to see, I mean, the sexy face right here,
That's right,
and
baby.
all that
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
But
Yes, sir.
when you're in the city, when you're in the city, you have no idea who people are.
Yeah,
You can be black, you can be white, you can be Mexican, you can be purple, yellow, you could have a mohawk, you could have no hair, you could have gray hair, you could be 60, you can be 20.
yeah.
I mean, heck, one of my best friends in the city is Allie. She's one of my best friends, and I'd sit there and I'll message her, hey, how's it going today?
Yeah,
And and you have no idea that she just turned 16. She was 15. It's
right.
just like she's so mature in the city.
Sure.
She takes I mean, she's passionate about it, but you have no idea. You don't care. You don't care what people are,
Yeah,
and they're your friends in the city.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's bridging the gap. What Messer says is bridging the gap of law enforcement and people, but it's also bridging the gap of people and people.
Yeah. And
The difference.
I agree with that, and I think that's a beautiful way to put that. And I use that word beautiful in the sense of, with everything, with as divided as our world and culture is on so many things, and it's a what the Academy does, what TARP does, is it creates a space where all of that stuff gets laid down because, one, it's in the rules. We don't talk about,
Yeah.
we're not talking about, those kind of things. We're not talking about
Yeah.
ethical, ethnicity things. We're not talking about sexuality things. We're not talking about political things.
We don't care.
It's part of the
Doesn't
rules,
matter.
but it's also a beautiful place where all of that stuff gets laid down and you get to meet people. Obviously, they're playing characters, but you're still meeting a person for who they are rather than what they're for, what they stand for, what side of whatever line matters to you that they're on, whether it's for or against. And that's a beautiful thing
Exactly.
about our
Yeah,
community.
and the people and they care about you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like having friends in real life. You go to work and you're sad, and they ask you what's wrong. And in this city, people know when something's up.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's on here. I don't say any names, but he was down one night. I could tell it was in his voice. I'm like, dude, you okay? Oh, there's some stuff's going on. I'm like, dude, man, DM's open. I'm like, I'm going out of character. DM's open if you want to talk, you
Yeah.
know? And I lost one of my best friends over 21 years. He had diabetes, his pancreas failed, liver failed. Um, he had a transplant, pancreas failed again. He didn't want to go through it. Had a bad stroke, lost his vision, pretty much vegetable state. I mean, I just saw the guy a month ago and he had no idea who I was. And
Yeah.
he ended up passing away, and I came in the city. And I mean, not even the first 10 minutes, someone's like, what's wrong, Tittles? Or it could have been Skilled, one of the two. I think I even get them mixed up. But they're like, "What's going on, man?
Yeah.
You're not you. You're not coming in with a smile on your face, happy and all that stuff." I'm like, "Ah, just some stuff at home with one of my best friends passed away."
Yeah.
And I mean, I just told him, and next thing you know, like everybody's messaging me,
Sure.
dude, man, I'm sorry to hear about this and all this stuff. And you get a message back like, hey, man, sorry, I didn't mean to tell people like in the gang stuff, but we feel like you need some words of encouragement and all that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's the people, man. It just brings me
It
to
is.
this. I mean, I log in. I log in almost every day just for, I mean, even if it's for 45 minutes, it's just
Sure.
like, hey, what's going on? Do a quick loop around as a cop or go in his Tittles and do a loop around. Hey, what's going
Yeah.
on? Hey, how's it going? And I'll be out 45 minutes later. You never know. So,
Sure. I think it's a. I tell you what I think it is, and I thought we talked about this. We kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I thought about it after our conversation yesterday. I think that this community of TARP is a beautiful picture of hope for the bigger picture of the world. I know that sounds vast, but in the sense of, man, you can take diverse people and bring them together and they can be connected not on what they
yeah,
believe, how they vote, how they live, what sexuality they are, but they can come together and they can harmonize over a mission or a cause. And I think it's just a beautiful picture of hope. And I know it's crazy to say for the world, but I mean, you think about how spread out the academy is now, and
yeah,
and how far wide the stretch is, and everybody's here because we have
exactly.
relationship and connections to this mission of bridging the gap, and it's almost unifying.
Oh, no, I agree 100%, man. It's like, I mean, check out all the people that, I mean, we have Ricky on the West Coast. We have Jonathan down south. We have you in the south. We
Yeah.
have me in Michigan, We have Ashley up towards the tip. I don't give out where you all live at, but we have Wiggum on the other side. We
Yeah.
have Messer and Ryan and everybody on the East Coast. I mean, we have Turtle out in England. We have Shay in Holland. We have Timmy out in England. It's just crazy that people from across the sea can connect over here.
Yeah.
By the way, my wife loves Turtle. So, and there you go. If you're in here, dude, my wife wants him to like read Harry Potter to her. She's starting to read Harry Potter. She goes, "Do you think Turtle will read Harry Potter to me?" She goes, She goes, that would make her day. So her birthday, it's in March. So if you can start reading the series now, Turtle, if you're paying attention,
Yeah. Yeah. Just
and
go
you can
ahead
start
and
reading every
record them.
series and have an audio book, I might even pay you for it.
There you go.
I'd be like the best present to
I
you.
like
An
little
English
side
guy
hustle for you,
reading.
Turtle. I like it. I like it. All right. So yeah, I agree, man. I do think it's it is the people, and it's the community,
Yeah.
it's the connection, it's the harmony and the come togetherness that I think
Yeah.
is really a special part of what our community is and what it offers to people. Um, not everybody watches TikTok and not everybody plays video games, but to people that are in that world, it's a beautiful opportunity for them, whether they
Yeah.
take it or realize it.
It's like me. I'm sitting here playing, and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law was over one day, and they see me on here. They're like, "You're a cop?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is the coolest thing ever," and all this stuff. They don't play video games. They don't have like online stuff. They don't watch streamers. They're like, "That's really cool," and all this stuff. And I started talking to him about Messer Sand. I go, "Yeah, I play on this server called TARP, and he's trying to bridge the gap of law enforcement and people." I go, he does special events in his community. He does, this handlebars where he gives out bikes,
Yeah,
and he does he does the ice cream truck and all that stuff. And they're like, "Oh wow, that's really cool." And they're like, so then they come in the next day. They were over here yesterday. I was running around as Tittles. They're like, "Well, who are you here?" I go, "I'm a criminal on this one now." This is like the coolest thing ever. And he looks at his, like, my brother-in-law looks at his wife like, "We need to get a computer."
yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I
but
get it.
it's just neat.
100%. My pastor, my boss, was talking. We were talking about the game the other day, and he was like, "Yo, I gotta get me a computer and play that." I was like, "Yeah, bro, come on in. We'll make it happen." So yeah, it is an
Yeah, you can
opportunity.
be a pastor in there, I don't know.
Exactly.
So,
Hey, now we got one pastor, Pastor Pat. We need to see more Pastor Pat. I don't know if you've ever met him, but we need
I
more
haven't met
Pastor.
him, no.
Yeah, Mr. Pastor Pat's wild. We need more Pastor Pat. I'm going to keep screaming that from the rooftops until we get to meet him more. All right, so I know that you've like we mentioned, you got tons of experience. Man, give us some funny stories, man. What are some things that you remember, stories that you could tell that you're like, yo, I'll never forget this. You got anything like that?
Man, you gotta ask me this, and so I'm on patrol at Skittles, and I had no idea this was going on. And all of a sudden, this green car pulls up behind me, and another green car pulls out in front of me. I'm like, my own gang is not going to kidnap my cousin. There's no way. And all of a sudden, they pull out guns. Get out of the car. I hate. I'm in my mind. I'm like, I hate you guys. And they're like, put your hands up. I put my hands up, and they take everything off me. They handcuff me, and we're driving down the road. And of course, they got to type. Throws radio out the window. Throws GPS out the window. I'm
Yeah.
like, son of a gun. They take me up to the Hollywood signs, and it was Kenny, Nacho, Judo, and Ricky or Leroy. And they're like, take your clothes off. I'm like, are you guys on like are you guys on do something to me or something or what? They're like, take your clothes off. The only thing you're keeping on is your hat and that's it. And your underwear. I'm like, oh jeez. So I start stripping down everything. I look at them, I go, this is why I like Blue Gang better. And singing, they're like, we're taking everything off you now. I go, please don't take my fire extinguisher. And of course, president of the Green Gang. I'm taking your fire extinguisher now. You like Blue Gang and all this stuff. So I'm messing with them. They're like, now walk. So I start walking away. I'm like, okay, they're gonna let me go. And I hear two shots, one off to my right, and the other one hits me in the back.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what the heck? They just shot me. I'm sitting there and they take off. I'm walking, I'm bleeding, and they leave my phone on me. So I call 911. I'm like, and this is when you could look up everybody's phone number.
Yeah.
I call up, I think it was either Mason or something. I'm like, I've been shot. I'm out at this postal. They shot me. I'm bleeding out. And while I was waiting for them to show up and EMS, I get on my cell phone, my in real life cell phone. I call up Ricky. I go, you son of a B, you shot me. He goes, no, I didn't. I shot 2 warning shots at you. I go, no, you struck me in the back. I'm laying on the ground. I go, I'm going to show you. He goes, what? I go, I'm going to show you now. And I went into a coma. I made my character. I RP'd it out. I'm going in a coma. Next thing you know, on the big screen, Skittles is in a coma. And he goes, you son of a B. He goes, I cannot believe you went to a coma. Everybody's gonna hate me now.
So,
Dude, Blue Gang was like, who shot him? Freaking everybody's like, who shot Skittles? Skittles is the nicest deputy. Who shot him, you know? And Ricky said they're going. He was going there like, I didn't mean to. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. And all this stuff. And he goes, why did you have to do that? And oh, dude, it was hilarious. Like, and I was like, I will show you. I was in a coma for like a couple days and stuff. I would come to Willard's like, what happened, man? What happened? Who shot you? I go, I just don't remember, man. I don't remember. I just remember 2 dark cars pulling up on me, and that's it, you know. And I don't know. And they're checking dash cams and everything, you know, trying to find out who shot Skittles. And it was Leroy the whole time, you know. It was so funny. That's one of my funniest moments. Then
that's
just
great.
tonight was another one. Just tonight, we got a call of a jet landing at Sandy, and of course, Miss Shay is driving a jet as Alice,
Yeah.
and she lands the thing without landing gear. And we're all around her and stuff, like, what are you doing? And all this stuff. And she goes, I'm getting back in. And we're like, okay, no, you're not. And she starts walking to the jet, and she touches the jet, and it blows up. And of course, Mason goes flying one way, Alice goes flying another way, I go flying the other way. I'm just sitting there going, dang it, Alice. I go, that's why you use landing gear and all this stuff. And it was just funny. It was just a spur of the moment thing. Then right after that, we get brought back to life. I'm sitting on the side of the road, and this car pulls up. He's going 97 and a 40. I clock him, and I just turn on my lights, and he pulls right on in front of me. He already knew he was in trouble, and I pull up. I'm like, "Oh, Sergeant Skittles, Blaine County Sheriff's Office. How you doing today?" And he's like, "I'm doing good." I'm like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" They're like, "Pretty fast." I go, "If you can guess it, I won't take you to jail." And he goes, "Can I get 2 guesses?" I go, "Sure." And he tells me the 2 answers, and it was wrong. I'm like sitting there looking. I look at the time. I'm like, "Oh man, dude, I got like 20 minutes before this interview." And I'm like, I look at him. I go, "I'm gonna write you a fine. I'm not gonna take you to jail." I go, "You're going way over double the limit." I go, "But I got an interview in 20 minutes, and I cannot be late to this thing." And I know as soon as I say get out of the car, you don't take off, and I gotta follow you and chase you everywhere. Then I gotta catch you because I'm gonna catch you.
Yeah.
And then I got to process you. Then I got to fill out the report. I go, I'm going to just hit you with a $1,200 fine and let you go. So,
That's funny. Lucky
yeah,
day.
there's a lot. Thing is, there's so many funny stories, and it's just like right now it's just so hard to like
Yeah.
come up with a lot of
No, I
them.
get it.
And
I get it.
everything includes Nacho and Jade and Leroy and Kenny and Judo and Rob. Rob's one of our new guys, and I love Rob to death, you
Yeah.
know. And saying Green Gang went from 4 or 5 people to we're almost got a full roster. We got a great crew, you know.
Yeah.
We picked up Lady Assault and everything, so she keeps us in line.
Yeah, I
That's a
bet.
good thing.
100%.
She's like,
100%.
well, and she keeps us going. I mean, we're the type of crew that likes to hang out at Yellow Jacket. And she's just there like, what are we doing today? You know, it's like, what are we doing? Let's go with someone. Let's go steal a cop. Let's go to the cop. You know, and oh, here's another funny story. I got one more for you.
All
And
right.
we're like, let's go rob someone. Let's go kidnap a cop. And we find one. It's Willis, Deputy Willis,
Okay.
and we take him. And we're driving. We throw his radio out. We throw his GPS out, and he goes, guys, I've never been kidnapped before. What do I do? And I sat there, I go, you just shut the hell up. That's what you do. This time we just lost it. We just lost thinking Nacho's cracking up, Kenny's cracking up. They're like, that's the funniest thing. You just shut the hell up, you know? It's like, you don't say a word and all that stuff. He's just like, I just never been kidnapped before. I just don't know what to do, man. So
That's funny. That's great. I love it. Hey, you know what? And that's real because I remember the first time I was kidnapped, I didn't know what to do. And I completely
oh
botched
yeah.
it. So it's
Oh
part
really?
of it. It's a learning curve.
Oh yeah. Everybody's gotta get kidnapped once as a Leo. I thought I was never gonna get kidnapped, and then of course it had to be my own gang that kidnapped me,
Yeah.
but
And shot you and put you in a
so,
coma. The
yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
You
yeah,
ready
it's
for some
great,
community
man. I
questions,
love it.
man? You ready to answer some
Yeah, let's
questions?
do this.
All right. Here
Let's
we
do
go.
this.
Here we go. Lady Assault. Why is
Uh-oh.
Lady Assault your favorite streamer? It's a good question.
Well, she keeps everybody in line. And I don't know, man. It's just she's always wants to do something. It's great. I
Yeah.
mean, she does have good people. Rita gets on my freaking nerves, but I mean, so does Robin. So does I mean, it's just their personalities. It's just that persona and
Yeah.
everything, you know. And
They're good
she
characters.
likes to have fun. I talk to her. We DM outside of the city and stuff. Like, hey, what we doing? Hey, who's gonna be in and stuff. It's just she's a good person. I
Yeah.
mean, when I first saw her streaming, man, her running around as Rita punching people in the face, I'm like, who is this lady? You know, and
Yeah.
like really talking to her and stuff. She is a good person, dude. I
Yeah.
like her a
100%.
lot. And
100%.
this one time, I dropped the mother of all bad words on her stream and I took off running, dude. I was like, I did not mean to say it. It just slipped. I do have a potty mouth and stuff. I dropped the big F bomb and I ran. I ran like as fast as I could. She's sitting there going, "You owe me, buddies." I'm like, "Oh no, Shields, we're gonna go rob a cop. You either give me 20,000, we're gonna go rob a cop." I'm like, "Okay, let's go rob a cop," you know, and all that stuff. So then we tried robbing a cop. This is the funny part. We were trying to rob a cop. We're like, okay, let's get Hunt. We want to go get Hunter.
Yeah.
That's her thing. She's like, let's go get Hunter. And that's one thing. We box him in, and Hunter's like, I ain't going down without a fight, dog. Saying he backs into Nacho, runs Nacho's car over, runs me over. I hop in because I had my gun out, pointing at him. I'm like, get out of the car, you know, and saying all of a sudden I hop back in, he's chasing me. And Cass and I are on a chase. Cass is in the passenger seat. I'm driving and stuff. She's like, "You're not a very good driver." I go, "Yeah, I know I'm not a very good driver." I go, "You know, remind me." And we're sitting there 15 minutes of just trying to get away. And finally, a local pulled out in front of us. I hit it. We start running. And we get busted. It was just so funny. I'm sitting there trying to get out of I'm trying to get out of getting a felony.
Yeah.
Tittles in the new city has no felonies.
Nice.
None. All misdemeanors.
I like it.
And he goes, well, you tried robbing me. And Hunter's like, you tried robbing me. I go, I wasn't trying to rob you. I wasn't trying to kidnap you. He goes, you pointed a gun at me. I go, no, I found this gun in the dumpster. I was like showing you, hey, I found this gun, you know. I was pointing it at you like, hey, I got this gun, you know. I go, how about you just get me attempted to elude? He's like, he sits there and rolls his eyes. I go, you don't want to be the first person to give Tittles a felony, do you? I go, Tittles does not have a felony. He starts looking at the record. He goes, how the heck do you not have a felony? I'm like, because I walk on the clean and narrow, you know. I told Cass, I go, if I get pulled over, if we get busted, I'm telling him that you kidnapped me. It's all this stuff. I'm like, I'm not getting a felony. So Tittles, to right now in the new city, has no felonies.
I like it.
I had t- I had tons of them in the new city. So, but yeah, so we have a blast. That's why she's one of my favorites.
I love
So
it. I love it. All right. Ask him. This is Big John. He says, ask him if he's a troll or a youper. Does that make
I
any sense
am a
to you?
troll, unfortunately. I Yes, it's a Michigan thing.
Okay.
And anybody south of a certain area are trolls. Everybody in the northern part usually starts around Gaylord area up are Yoopers
Okay.
because they're up in the Upper Peninsula.
All right.
I am a troll, unfortunately, but yeah, heart I'm a Yooper. I love to hunt. I love all that. So,
I like
but
it.
yeah,
All right. Here we go. Uh, I won't even tell you who asked this. Who is your favorite blue demon, and what does he think about the new logo?
David Sanchez is up there, man. Him and Big Papa, though. I mean, I love them both. Corey's right there. I mean, David is my boy. We're both VPs there for a while. Um, and the kindness of his heart, he created a new logo for us. I mean, what I heard, it costs money to do it, but he paid for it all and everything. We were struggling with the logo. He came up with it. The logo has a top hat on it, so it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you dig
everybody's
it.
like, "Yeah, Tills is our mascot." I don't know what thing Kenny thinks about it all. Like, "Oh Jesus, Tittles is gonna sit there and overthrow me," which is not gonna happen. But it's pretty sweet, man.
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
And that's a good
I
looking
love him to
logo.
death,
It is
dude.
a good
He's a
looking
good
logo.
guy. Yeah, he's a great guy, man. In and out of the city. I don't talk to him a whole lot out of the city, but I mean, he's just awesome. So
All right. Ricky said, what happened when we did shootouts 98% of the time?"
in the old city, we would always do shootouts with the cops, and Tittles is always left behind. They always leave me, man. I have no idea. I'm alive. I'm running around shooting cops, and they all hop in the cars and leave me. They'll tell you otherwise. They'll be like, "Yeah, Tittles died again,"
Yeah.
But nah, they leave me, and then I die. Tittles is always left behind because I always die. I was horrible. I was horrible. Then I started getting the pass to the shooting range, started practicing my guns and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, back in the day, Tittles was in the old city. Tittles always got busted with shootouts.
Do you remember? You may not remember this. May just be me. Do you remember the night we did the purge? So it was the night of the purge, and
When I kept on killing you,
we were out in Sandy, and uh, you kept killing me over and over and over. And then you were like, "Is that guy? Is that you?" I was like, "Yes." You're like, "Oh, my bad, dog. I'm so sorry."
I felt so bad. I'm like, my bad, dude. My bad, dog. See, I kept on shooting you. My bad. That was a crazy night, dude.
That was a lot of fun.
Like I went in as Skittles and I grabbed a sniper rifle and a bunch of ammo and they flew me on top of a skyscraper to begin with. And I just sat there with a sniper rifle, started picking people off of dirt bikes and cars. They had no idea where it was coming from. Yeah, that was a crazy freaking night.
It was
So
fun. I had a buddy of mine that was play. I had talked him into playing. It was his second night in the city. And he was like,
oh,
"Is this what it's like?" And I was like, "No, bro. It's not like
no,
this.
no, no.
It's not like this." So yeah, it was off the chain. It was a lot of fun. Um, what do you think about Ganker?
I love Ganker. I mean, when you guys first came in, man, I was Guy and Ganker, dude.
Yeah,
Saying I miss him. It's funny because I ran into him one day when I saw you guys at Yellow Jack not too long ago. You guys
yeah.
both came in. I'm like, "What's up, Ganger?" You're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "It's Tittles, man." "Oh yeah, Tittles, that's right." I'm like, "Oh geez," I go, "You've been gone that long?"
Yeah,
But
Ganker.
yeah, seeing.
Ganker ate a lot of paint chips as a kid. You got to let it go. It's just the way it goes.
It's like these crazy guys. I mean, it's just like these crazy guys that showed up one day at Yellow Jack dressed in clown masks. I didn't know who it was at
Yeah,
first, but
yeah. I don't know who those people
yeah,
are either.
so it's sort of yeah.
not familiar. They may make an entrance really soon. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald and
Yeah,
Burger
yeah,
King.
Ronald, Burger King, and the Dairy Queen or something like that is what I
Yeah,
think they
that's
were.
so
So,
funny. That's great. I love
well,
it.
well, good man. Well, listen, man. Uh, close us out here, man. Tell us just kind of some like if you were. I know we already kind of talked about this, but I like to kind of end it with this thought. If you had an opportunity to tell somebody that doesn't know anything about the academy, or maybe they're looking for something, what is it that you would tell them about the community and just kind of like, yo, you really need to get in here. What would kind of be your sales pitch or your elevator pitch for TARP? What does that sound like for you?
Man, I mean, we pretty much hit the mark earlier, but it's just like if you want to do something good and fun, clean fun, I call it. It's
Yeah,
clean fun, doesn't hurt anybody. Join the server. I mean, I know what you're like, what you always say is like some of these people, oh, they play there, he's a mentor and all this stuff. He's just saying that, but coming from a 39-year-old guy, almost 40 in September, um, that has two kids, like I would trust my 9-year-old playing in this server.
yeah,
These people are good. They watch their mouths a lot of the times. You get a couple of them that like to cuss Kenny, and they they but they watch it, and it's just a clean, fun thing to do.
yeah,
It's addicting. If you want that addicting thing, it goes to a good cause. I mean, when he did his handlebars, I looked at my wife. I'm like, I'm gonna donate some money to Messer, and she's just like, why? I go, he does this thing. I explained to her what Samuel handlebar was, and I mean, she literally had tears in her eyes. She goes, does he really get that many bikes and hands them out? I go, yeah. I mean, he has bikes beyond bikes,
yeah,
man. Just people donate to this, and it just opens your eyes. It's great. I
yeah,
mean, it's like I said before. It's the people. I mean, it's just not Messer. It's not Lady Assault. It's not Denny. It's not Ryan. I mean, it's the guys behind the scene. You got Evan, dude. I mean, without Evan, I mean, what do we have? I mean, that guy goes crazy. Kale. I mean, all these
yeah,
guys that some of them play, some of them don't, but they're passionate about this. I mean, check out Denny. Denny's passionate about it. He never played till what, 3 weeks ago,
right,
and now he's streaming and stuff. But he was just it goes for the cause.
right,
That's why I said it's not. It's the people, man. It's great. It's
yeah,
fun.
yeah, 100
And I
percent.
call it like I have so many friends. It's like I have more friends in terms than I do in real life almost. I mean, he's not. I mean, not really, but it's just like it seems like it.
Yeah,
I mean, you talk to these people every day.
yeah, and
If
they're
it's
so and
not,
they're so
and
easily
that's
connectable too with Discord and it's easy
yeah,
to connect with
and that's
people.
it. It's like you don't have to be in the city. It's like the other night, server was down, saying we're all in the VC.
Yeah,
Had our videos going. Everybody got to see me for the first time. Then they're like, "Oh my gosh, Tittles, you gotta leave. You know, you're ugly." But not just kidding. But they're like, "Man, you are old. Are you a mall Santa?" I'm like, "I only played one when I was 30. You know." But yeah, so but yeah,
oh man,
it's great, man.
yeah, no, it
It's
is.
great. I love it.
It
And
is, and I'm thankful for the opportunity, and man, thankful for you coming in. And
hey,
I tell you all the time, I felt like if we lived in the same city, we'd run the roads and get into
oh,
trouble.
dude,
And
definitely.
um,
I need to come down to Georgia, man. Even though I don't know about those Bulldogs down there, they put a thumping on my team, but
yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely,
I
man.
hear it all the time from some of the people down there in Georgia, Willard and all them, saying yeah, Bulldogs and all
Yeah.
that.
Well, you know
But
what?
yeah,
They
singing,
got
I need
it.
to get
They
down there.
deserve it this year. We'll give it to them. They deserve it this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, they did a good job. As long as they beat Alabama, that's all that matters.
There
So
you go. There you go. Well, man, hey, nothing but love for you. Man, I appreciate you. Thank you
you
so
too,
much for
brother.
jumping in here, man. I had a
No
blast.
problem, man. It was a blast, dude. Hey, guess what? What's brown and sticky?
What?
A stick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Mother Fluffer loves this one. What do you call a pile of kittens?
What?
A meowing.
Meow.
Oh, yeah, I had them rolling. I had them rolling on
Oh
that
my
one. So,
gosh. Oh my gosh.
but
Brother, thank you so
well, all right,
much. I
brother. I
love you, buddy.
appreciate, man. I appreciate what you do, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you jumping in, and I look forward to seeing you in the city, my friend.
Yeah, you too, man. You
All right.
take her easy.
Hey, have a great night, sir.
All right, man. Love you, brother.
Love you, bud. Be good.